Good morning and welcome. And I think by this time I have had the privilege of knowing most of you, but just for the sake of those with whom I don't have a chance yet to meet, I'm Jay Xu, the director of the Asian Art Museum. Thank you for coming. Thank you particularly for braving the thunderstorm to come here, despite of the intimidating weather. For a moment on the way driving here, I thought I was in Shanghai. You know, Shanghai every year has typhoons, and today's thunderstorm is really like the typical weather in Shanghai during the summertime. But of course, in San Francisco, you never know it's summer or it's winter. That's all the better for all of us to have a wonderful weather here. Anyway, thank you so much. And what difference a year has made for all of us. And a year ago, we started this initiative of a Bay Area-wide Shanghai Celebration. A year later, now we have 30 organizations presenting more than 50 programs throughout the entire year of 2010, all Shanghai-related programs. And this tells us the strength of partnership in our community. And thank you for taking the leadership for your organizations, as well as encouraging other organizations and individuals to partnerships. So looking back, and a year ago when we came upon this idea, the idea is really based on some very simple understandings. First, San Francisco is a gateway to Asia with a large Asian population, including Chinese American. The second, our city has 30 years of city relationship with the city of Shanghai. The third is that Shanghai is going to host a World Expo in this year. So it occurs to us while we're doing our Shanghai-related exhibition called Shanghai, the Art of the City, many organizations may have already planning similar Shanghai-related programs as well, wish to develop relationship with Shanghai. So based on this simple understanding, we decided to reach out to many of you and others who, for various reasons, could not send a representative in today, but participating in the program, saying that in this economically challenging time, how we can band together to cross-promote our programs. If we have a commonality, if we share Shanghai for this particular year, maybe we can develop a mechanism by which we can cross-promote each other and also commonly, mutually promoting each other's program, then making our city a better-known place in Shanghai when Shanghai is holding World Expo. And a year later, thank you to your support, and we have now this growing collaboration. Again, let me repeat, it truly testifies to the strength of partnership in this city and under the leadership of our mayor, who is with us this morning. Soon, I will introduce him to give us a speech. So, first of all, but before I'm giving up my podium, I'd like to thank the media for coming to reporting to join us, help us to promote, get the words out. I'd like to thank all the representatives from different organizations to share the time with us, to reporting on their individual institutions program. The third, I'd like to thank our mayor, Gavin Newsom, and our first lady, Jennifer Newsom, who is the honorary chair for the Bay Area-wide Shanghai Celebration. And just to tell you one last thing, that our Shanghai exhibition is for real. We just produced our catalog, just hot off the press. So thank you very much. Without further ado, let me give you Mayor of San Francisco, Mayor Newsom.
Great. Thanks, Jay. That's fun. Thank you, Jay, and thank you all very much for being here, and I apologize for my dress. It's self-evident when we got a lot of intersections that are flooding, et cetera, that I decided wisely to come out of a suit this morning and put my jeans on. But I'm very happy to be here and very thankful that all of you not only took the time to be here, but made a commitment that goes beyond this moment throughout this next year. As Jay correctly stated, San Francisco and Shanghai have a very significant history together, going back to when Mayor Dianne Feinstein signed a memorandum of understanding to create a quote-unquote friendship city, which later became a sister city between San Francisco and Shanghai. That was in the late 1970s that the idea was formed in 79 and then formalized in 1980. As a consequence, the reference a 30-year sister city that will be celebrated this year in 2010. As Jay said, the significance of that sister city is self-evident, but the significance grows in the context of our commitment and resolve to celebrate it by celebrating the success we anticipate of this World Expo. I had the opportunity last year to go to Shanghai with a delegation, and I can assure you this is Shanghai's Olympics. In many respects, Shanghai and Beijing remind me of San Francisco and Los Angeles. There's a remarkable competition between the two cities, and a very lightened competition. After the successful Olympics in Beijing, all eyes were on Shanghai and see if they can take it to the next level in terms of their expo. The investment is staggering. This expo undoubtedly will be the world's largest. We have some history here, of course, in San Francisco with World Expos, but I don't think we've seen anything like this in the history of World Expos. The commitment of the Chinese government, but particularly the Shanghai government, to make the World Expo this year even more spectacular. I had the chance to actually visit the site. There were only a few buildings that were complete, and we went up on top of one building and saw the drawings and some of the digital media that was organized, and was mesmerized by the commitment and the resolve. And this just seemed a few months ago, and there was almost nothing there. So I'm going to certainly look forward to coming and seeing in real terms the three-dimensionality of this vision, with absolute expectation that they'll get the job done, as Shanghai government always seems to get the job done. Just briefly, I also want to reference some of the success of our sister city in the context of substance, not just a framework of appreciation. That we have really, I think, raised the bar for sister cities across the country, and for that matter around the world. And I say this with some objectivity, recognizing the inherent subjectivity as mayor of San Francisco, a baton again being passed mayor to mayor going back to Dianne Feinstein. But internationally, this relationship has been identified as a model relationship. We have followed up with cultural exchanges, sure, economic exchanges, self-evidently, but also some very significant relationships that have been formed through an exchange that doesn't get so much attention, and that is an exchange where we bring citizens of the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and in return, the Shanghai government brings citizens of Shanghai and the region to San Francisco for a period of time where they engage in activities large and small. And we've had some notable residents of the Bay Area that have come from our region to Shanghai to get the benefit of their example, and of course Shanghai government has gotten the benefit of that example. These are the kinds of partnerships that I think give this substance and give this relationship heft. As Jay said, it's self-evident as well that it would all be taking shape out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Since our fates go back 150 plus years ago, I was here just a week ago talking about those fates being inextricably tied in my state of the city. I won't burden you with a repetition or repeating myself in that context, but suffice it to say that I'm very proud of that, and I have long believed that our fate and future is very significantly tied to the fate and future of China, and our gateway status in a city of over a third of its population of Asian descent. It goes without saying that there's evidence to support that. Thank you to all the Bay Area, not just San Francisco cultural institutions that are participating. We appreciate your support. It is remarkable to see organizations large and small, from the Symphony and Opera here in San Francisco to our botanical garden. Of course, that's personal to me, the old Stribing Arboretum. My grandfather has a small garden out there participating, but also those of you from Berkeley, those of you from the South Bay and the North Bay that are here participating, we thank you. Conservatory of Music, we thank you for participating in this. We look forward to all going out in June. We're going to have San Francisco Week at the Expo, the only city in the United States of America that has its own week at the Expo. You may recall in my final words and reflections, you may recall that we were not engaged in the Expo, the United States, as other countries were. For whatever reason, the Bush administration did not find it a priority. I long thought that a mistake, and our delegation and our Shanghai sister city felt that was a mistake, so we decided to fill that void directly, and San Francisco went out to Shanghai. In fact, that was the reason we went out reflecting on my visit there, was to sign a memorandum of understanding committing ourselves to the Expo as a city so that at least the United States had some flag planted with this World Expo. All I heard was how disappointed, appropriately so, the Chinese government was in the United States for not taking seriously their efforts. Fortunately, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration recognized the error of the previous administration and have really stepped it up. And they're raising aggressively, and I can assure you, I know this intimately, aggressively raising money to make sure not just San Francisco, but the U.S. has a very strong presence. We're playing a little bit of catch-up, but to the credit of the administration, and particularly Secretary of State Clinton, they're doing an outstanding job. So we're going to have both the San Francisco Week, and we'll celebrate our history and the history of our respective cities, and we will have the United States finally participating at a significant level, perhaps not as significant as some had hoped because of the fact we're playing catch-up, but significant nonetheless, and I think that's a very, very positive thing. Final point, come back here in February, and come back again and again and again, and encourage others to come back. We are very blessed to have an exhibition of Shanghai that will be here February 12th, I believe, Jay, through September, with a remarkable collection of art and artifacts. We're very blessed to have that. Going back, interestingly, to 1850, and seems appropriate that 1850 is the date of this exposition because it marks, obviously, the date of the creation, really, of the city and county of San Francisco as we know it. So it just reinforces those history, that history and that collective history. And so I look forward to that exhibition. I look forward to our trip out there in June. I look forward to all of your participation. And as I began, I will conclude by once again thanking you sincerely for your commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Newsom, and for the very, very encouraging speech. And this slide shows the list of organizations that will participate in this year-long Shanghai Celebration. I'm so excited that the United States will finally have a pavilion in the World Expo, and our city will have its own highly promoted and a high-profile program called the San Francisco Week in Shanghai. But as we also going to Shanghai, we are welcoming Shanghai to San Francisco. And this is just what Bay Area-wide celebration of Shanghai is about. And our show is one of it, but more importantly, we have so many organizations, many of which are represented by you, to participate throughout the year of the 2010. Actually, our museum show is not the first that will come online. So you will in due course hear which program that will come online, and also you will be able to check the status on the www.shanghaicelebration.com. The website has been developed, devoted exclusively to promote the 50 also growing programs of the Shanghai Celebration. So the next, please allow me to introduce our Senior Curator of Chinese Art, Michael Knight, who will give you a brief summary of the exhibition that we're going to present on February the 12th.
So when I started this project in 2006, I had no idea it would grow like this. That is very much a credit to Jay's vision. And those of you who are involved with it know also that it has a lot to do with Michelle Dilworth. Poor Michelle signed up to be the team leader for the exhibition here. I don't think she had any idea what she was getting herself into, but it's really, I think we should all give her a round of applause for the effort she's put in here. So the art is on its way. I've seen enough of it, so I'm going to get through this quickly so I can hear the rest of you. I'm tired of this stuff. Not really. We've divided the exhibition into 4 parts. Beginnings, kind of 1849, 1850 to 1911. That's when Shanghai, of course, was all about trading tea for opium. And this is an image of those ships as they were at the Shanghai Bund at about that time. But that kind of wealth spread throughout the Chinese populace, and we have the Chinese themselves developing the Shanghai School of Painting. We have the opportunity in this exhibition to have portraits of famous artists and works by them, in this case by Wu Chuangshuo. We have a lot of these going on. And of course, Shanghai Beauties. That goes throughout the exhibition, kind of women's issues. This is a very serious kind of aspect of the exhibition and something that's discussed both in depth in the catalog, but also as we go through the exhibition. High Times, a title that has caused some consternation with our friends in China, but one that we're using here, meant High Times as in High Times, having a good time. 1912 to 1949. Again, we have some important personages. On the near side, the wife of Kang Youwei. Kang Youwei was a major reformer. On the other side, a portrait of Du Yesheng and Huan Jinrong. These are the heads of the Green Gang, the major kind of gangsters in Shanghai of the period. So we have a little bit of everything going on in the exhibition. It's a fairly in-depth and fairly serious exhibition, looking across the breadth and depth of Shanghai art and culture. A lot of artistic debates going on between the West and how you should modernize China in Chinese arts and Chinese civilization through impact with the West. And also those who said, hey, the native culture is strong, we got to keep it going. And so we have this kind of thing going on in paintings. We have on the far side a Liu Haisu oil painting, on the near side Shijie Liu ink and color on paper. Again, in High Times, this is kind of the image that a lot of people have about Shanghai, but there was a lot more going on at this time. But this was an important aspect of Shanghai as well. Revolution. Of course, if you have High Times, you have that division in society, and you see the kinds of responses to that, and revolution is a big part of this. Our partners in Shanghai were very good about this, and we were partnered first with the Shanghai Museum, and they brought in the Shanghai Art Museum, the Shanghai History Museum, the Lushun Memorial Hall, and for the first time in my experience, we actually have a number of loans coming from private collections in Shanghai. So they all together put this art together for us. This is George Bernard Shaw. You can see his image up here. So Westerners came to Shanghai. It was an area for kind of thought, revolutionary thought, and revolutionary practice. And the reason for the revolution you can see on the far side. There was great disparity in social standing at the time. Of course, we go into the actual 1949 and later, and early posters, 1950, an image of Mao Zedong. He was important in the revolution. Shanghai today, we have a big contemporary component, and it's been really interesting putting this together because Shanghai is, people think about Beijing as the center for contemporary art in China, but Shanghai is a very big and vibrant contemporary art. They're a little bit under the radar, keeps them away from the government, and they are doing some very interesting and innovative and exciting things there. This is a piece that we're having a lot of fun putting together. This is a Shenfang artist, an artist born in 1951. He's doing an homage to Huang Binghong, who is an ink painter of the 20th century. What this is a neon piece. There are 360 neon bulbs that come on one at a time, and they actually kind of reproduce the creation of a Huang Binghong painting. So each neon light represents a brushstroke, and it comes on over an hour, and then it deconstructs over an hour. So it comes on and then it goes off. It takes 2 hours, so you need to sit and watch the whole thing. You need to come back many, many times for this exhibition. The ink tradition in a contemporary fashion is very vibrant and alive in Shanghai. It's perhaps one of the centers in all of China. On the top there we have Li Huayi, who is an artist that's now splits his time between Shanghai and San Francisco. On the bottom, Cheng Bin-hong, who also splits his time between Shanghai and San Francisco. We have a big video component. Yang Fudong is one of the leading video artists in China, and it's an aspect of Shanghai art that has been vibrant since the 30s and 40s and continues into present time. Very interesting, leading in the world often in contemporary video arts. And then installation pieces. I haven't seen these yet. These pieces will be created when they get here. So this is Zhang Jianjun, who splits his time between New York and Shanghai. And what he's doing is creating an installation in our North Court out here, which we're shipping over several tons of used brick, and then these big silicone copies of Taihu stones, and he's going to create a Shanghai garden in our North Court here. So come February 12th, and please come back because it's here all the way into the early part of September. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Michael. Next, let me introduce Sharon Cito, Chair of the San Francisco Symphony Chinese New Year Concert and Celebration. And the event will be on February the 7th.
Good morning, Gong Hei Fa Choi. Happy New Year! We are deeply honored to be included in this festival celebrating the 30th anniversary of the relationship with our sister city, Shanghai. The San Francisco Symphony will ring in the Lunar New Year, ushering in the growling tiger at our 10th anniversary Chinese New Year concert and celebration on Saturday, February 27th at 3 p.m. in Davis Symphony Hall. For 10 years, the San Francisco Symphony has taken great pride in offering and entertaining an affordable concert that allows the entire family to celebrate the arrival of the Lunar New Year with a delightful afternoon that blends the music and cultures of East and West. This event has grown into one of the highlights of not just only the San Francisco Symphony season, but also one of the highlights for the Bay Area's Lunar New Year celebrations. This year, we are featuring some extraordinary Shanghai connections. On the program is Shanghai pianist Ho Chen Zhang, who's performing Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto No. 1. We also have Shanghai native Yun Yun Tan from the San Francisco Ballet. She's a principal dancer there, who will be on stage dancing to Grandpa Day Do, which is from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. This feature performance will be guest conducted by none other than our very own San Francisco Symphony conductor, Michael Tilson Thomas. He's our musical director there, as everyone knows. The concert will feature repertoire from Shanghai, including Rose, Rose, I Love You, Gongzi, Gongzi, and Shanghai Night by Bay Area composer and also Shanghai native Gong Si-tu. The San Francisco Symphony has 4 musicians from the Shanghai Conservatory in our orchestra. In addition to this beautiful concert, our event includes the fun-filled festival reception. An hour before the concert from 2 to 3 in the lobbies of San Francisco Symphony Davies Hall, it will be filled with colorful lion dancers, fortune tellers, calligraphy, arts and craft booths, Asian beauty queens, Chinese desserts, tea bars, traditional Chinese music, and stage performances. Of course, keeping with tradition, each child will be given a red envelope filled with a chocolate gold coin. And the reception is free for all concert ticket holders. This is fabulous. The evening will conclude with an elegant post-concert imperial ball at San Francisco's City Hall. It will be featuring a delectable Asian-inspired multi-course dinner banquet, live entertainment, and some serious dancing. We have an exciting event planned for the Lunar New Year celebration. It's going to rock and roar, and we hope to see you there. Gong Hei Fa Choi.
Thank you, Sharon. Next, let me present to you Alexander Brose, Associate Vice President of Advancement, San Francisco Conservatory of Music. They're going to present a program titled San Francisco and Shanghai Conservatories of Music Collide on February the 8th, 2010. Thank you, Alex.
Good morning. First off, I'd just like to say how excited we are to take part in this wonderful initiative spearheaded by Jay and the rest of the people here at the Asian Art Museum. It's been really tremendous working with all of you, with Michelle, and we really thank you for your leadership on this event. On Monday, February 8th, 2010 at 8 p.m., the San Francisco and Shanghai Conservatories of Music will honor our long-standing relationship and deepening ties, in addition, of course, to the 30th anniversary of the signing of the first Sister City Agreement between the U.S. and China, with a historic concert in the San Francisco Conservatory of Music's Caroline H. Hume Concert Hall, and a very special signing agreement of our own. The San Francisco Conservatory of Music, which was founded in 1917, is the oldest independent conservatory of music on the west coast of the United States. The Shanghai Conservatory of Music, founded 10 years later, is the oldest conservatory of music in China. And though the two conservatories have long had an informal relationship and connection, mostly represented by Shanghai Conservatory graduates coming to study in San Francisco, this event is really the first event of its kind. It follows 6 years of annual visits by San Francisco Conservatory officials and faculty to Shanghai, each serving to bolster ties and pave the way for future alliances. And you'll see here a photo with myself, President Colin Murdoch from the conservatory, and violin professor at San Francisco Conservatory, Wei He. The concert on February 8th is the culmination of these visits and will feature San Francisco Conservatory faculty, current students, alumni, friends, including a newly formed string trio, the Bridge Chamber Virtuosi, which includes SFCM violinist Wei He, who you just saw, San Francisco Symphony member violist Yun Jie or Jie Liu, and cellist Amos Yang, shown here in these photos, performing new instrumental works composed by Shanghai Conservatory faculty, students, and colleagues, including the U.S. premiere of current Shanghai Conservatory of Music President Xu Shuya, his work San for 11 instruments. It's the U.S. premiere of that piece. Additionally, you also see photographed here, we are thrilled to feature world-renowned mezzo-soprano Zheng Cao, recently seen in SF Opera's production of The Bonesetter's Daughter, and herself a graduate of the Shanghai Conservatory of Music, as she performs new vocal works written by San Francisco Conservatory of Music affiliated composers, including faculty member David Garner and SF philanthropist Gordon Getty, actually himself a graduate of the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. This concert, again, will take place on February 8th, and tickets are available online at www.sfcm.edu. We really feel that this event really brings together both sides. We're also delighted to announce that the Shanghai Conservatory will be sending 2 representatives to San Francisco for this event, Vice President Yang Yendi and composer Chen Changbin, who is himself having a piece performed by the Bridge Chamber Virtuosi. They will certainly be present at the concert on February 8th, but perhaps more importantly for the future relationship between the two schools and certainly this city, they will represent the Shanghai Conservatory of Music as we sign the San Francisco Conservatory's very first sister conservatory agreement with the Shanghai Conservatory of Music. We are absolutely thrilled about this. This also mirrors, of course, the 30-year agreement that we've had between San Francisco and Shanghai. Again, tickets for the concert are available online on our website, and we encourage you all to attend on February 8th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. Next, let me introduce Luis Cancel, Director of Cultural Affairs, San Francisco Arts Commission. Luis has very special news for all of us.
Thank you, Jay. How do we advance the slide? There we go. Well, first I wanted to thank Jay Shu for not only hosting us today, but for really providing a great, he and his staff have provided phenomenal leadership in organizing and rallying the troops in support of the Shanghai Celebration. So Jay and his staff, thank you very much. Of course, Jay was responding to the mayor, as you heard before, his enthusiastic support for the sister-city relationship that exists with Shanghai. And the mayor also is one of the most enthusiastic proponents of public art and temporary public art here in San Francisco. So the Arts Commission responded to these twin challenges by working to secure a major work by a major Chinese contemporary sculptor, artist. And so we're pleased to announce that in late spring of this year, as part of our celebration, we will be unveiling to the world the recent colossal copper sculpture entitled 3 Heads, 6 Arms by Sheng Huang. And this is a phenomenal piece. It's never been seen anywhere in the world. It's over 26 feet tall and over 40 feet wide. And thanks to anonymous donors in shipping, we will be bringing this 15-ton sculpture and siting it in the Civic Plaza during, for at least 6 months during the celebration year. And I particularly have to thank Gregory Chu, one of our arts commissioners, and Jill Manton, our director of programs, for helping to secure this sculpture for San Francisco, and as well as the Pace Wildenstein Gallery in New York that represents the artist. The Arts Commission also will have a second collaboration with in this celebration, and that is an exhibition curated in collaboration with the International Museum of Women and our San Francisco Arts Gallery. And so our director of the gallery, Meg Schiffler, has identified a young Shanghai photographer, Liang Yu, who will be documenting residents and women of Shanghai and China as part of the exhibition that has a working title called Economica, but is going to be opening in June of this year. So thank you, Meg, for putting that together, and thanks to the International Museum of Women for collaborating with us in this celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. Next, let me present to you Mervyn Danker, Executive Director, American Jewish Committee, San Francisco Bay Area Chapter, and they were presenting a wonderful exhibition titled The Jews in Modern China in February in Presidio.
Thank you, Dr. Jay Shu, and we're honored to have you as a co-chair of our exhibition. Needless to say, we are delighted and honored to be part of Shanghai 30. Our contribution is a photographic exhibition of some 89 photographs relating to various strands of Jewish groups that lived in Shanghai and further north in Harbin during the late 19th century and also during the 20th century. In addition to the photographic exhibition, there will be allied auxiliary events, lectures, adult education programs, fun events, films. As you can see, it runs, or the previous slide at any rate, it runs from the 24th of February until mid-May, with an opening celebration sometime in very early March. I'm going to share with you 3 slides related to the photographic exhibition. The first is a photograph on the left-hand side of a synagogue, the Ohel Leah Synagogue, which was built in Hong Kong, as you can see, in the early part of the 20th century. And on the right-hand side is the rabbi who led the Ohel Rachel Synagogue in Shanghai itself for a number of years during the 20th century. Incidentally, the word Sephardic comes from the Hebrew word Sephard, which means Spain, and it relates to the Jews of the Iberian Peninsula who were expelled from there at the end of the 15th century and found refuge in North Africa and also in southern Mediterranean countries. So the Sephardi group is certainly one of them that lived in Shanghai during the 20th century. In addition, there were Russian Jews who escaped from the pogroms in Russia in the days of the Tsar. The word pogrom means riot, and these were riots executed against the Jewish population. And they found refuge. They were welcomed by the Chinese population, and they found refuge in Shanghai. Many of them went into the fur trade, and the first group there, as you can see, it consists of a number of people involved in the trade, and the second one is a Siberian fur store, which also was built by a Russian Jew in Shanghai. Today, the road where he built the store is called the Nanying Road West. The top photograph is the staff also, the staff of Bernstein and Sons, a company which exported furs from China to Europe and the United States in 1928. Those were the Russian Jews who inhabited the Jewish quarter of Shanghai as well. And finally, the Shanghai was a haven. It was a refuge for Jews who were fleeing Nazi Europe during the 1930s, particularly Ashkenazi Jews. The word Ashkenazi, the Hebrew word for German, and many of them did come from Germany. They developed their society there, they developed their circles there, they ran newspapers there. And again, today we are extremely grateful to the population of Shanghai, to the Chinese who welcomed them, gave them a refuge, and allowed them to escape what would surely have been a trip to an extermination or concentration camp. I also want to acknowledge the driving force behind our exhibition, Linda Frank, who is here this morning. Again, we look forward very much to welcoming you to the Jews in China exhibit at the Officers Club at the Presidio, the gallery there, from the 24th of February until mid-May. And thank you very much, Michelle, and thank you again to Dr. Jay Shu.
Thank you. The next, let me present to you Julie Kim, Public Engagement Director, San Francisco Planning and Urban Research Center, or better known as SPUR. Thank you.
Good morning. Michelle, thank you for inviting me here today. And I'm here to represent the San Francisco Planning and Urban Research Association, more commonly known as SPUR. And, missing a slide there. We're honored to be a part of this festival celebrating Shanghai, and I'm just going to say a few words about SPUR as well as the public program series we have lined up for next month. As many of you may know, we opened last year a new 14,000 square foot headquarters called the SPUR Urban Center on Mission Street, just around the corner from SF MoMA. Just a snapshot of what SPUR is and what we do. In 1910, a group of citizens convened to form the first SPUR committee. The work of that committee led to a very important piece of state legislation requiring sound construction practices for new housing following the 1906 earthquake and fire. Today, 100 years later, we continue that tradition of allowing citizens to improve their home city. The work, comprised of rigorous research and policy recommendations, is distributed through our monthly publication, which you see here, The Urbanist. Right now, we have about a dozen such committees working in one of 7 areas: community planning, disaster planning, good government, housing, regional planning, sustainable development, and transportation. The center, the new urban center, has allowed us to greatly expand our capacity to hold public events. We hold about 15 or 20 of these per month to educate the general public about the latest issues and trends in sustainable urbanism. SPUR has a long tradition of exploring what San Francisco can learn from other cities. And next month, we are very excited to turn the lens on Shanghai to spur discussion around some of the very exciting work being done there by local architects, scholars, and urban planners. Oh, I'm missing. The first program actually is a talk entitled Shanghai's Fabric of Everyday Life. This talk will take place on Thursday, February 11th at 12:30 at the Urban Center. This will be a presentation by and conversation with UC Berkeley professor Renee Chow, who teaches at the university's College of Environmental Design. This program, and I apologize, I was supposed to have a few images here to represent it, but I don't know what happened. This program, as well as the next, explores the complexities of building in China today. In Shanghai, Professor Chow argues New development by foreign architects poses a threat to the unique urban patterns that supported the city's original identity, legibility, and character of everyday life. Professor Chow will share her work on alternative strategies for planning and architecture that embrace environmentalism, cultural sustenance, and the persistence of place. Again, that event is February 11th at the Urban Center at 12:30 p.m. The second program explores a similar theme. This program is titled Shanghai's Past, Present, and Future, Historically Sensitive Development in Shanghai. How do you allow a city to grow while preserving its history? Two prominent San Francisco-based architecture firms are trying just that. Ellen Liu, Associate Director at Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, and Michelle St. Pierre, Director of Urban Planning at Gensler, will discuss their respective urban plans for downtown Shanghai. These include master plans for the historic Puxi District, as well as redevelopment plans for the Huangpu River waterfront, which will newly incorporate the river into the city's urban center. That particular program will take place on Wednesday, February 17th at the same time, 12:30. Finally, no series exploring new development trends in China would be complete without a look at the newest strategies in green building. The third program, Building Green in China, will feature San Francisco architect Jeffrey Heller, principal of Heller Manus, the lead design firm for a 26-story office tower on the Huangpu River in Shanghai. Heller will discuss the intricacies of the design and approvals process in China and the differences between working abroad and his home city of San Francisco. That event will take place on February 23rd, also at the Urban Center at 12:30. And for more information, please visit our website, www.spur.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. I cannot help mentioning, I had a great time about 2 months ago participating in the Urban Land Institute conference at Moscone Center, co-presenting with Michelle St. Pierre of Gensler, the firm, San Francisco-based firm who's building the world's second highest tower, the highest in Shanghai, called Shanghai Tower. And I felt particularly important because they allow the museum professionals to put forward his perspective on behalf of his colleague in terms of how we can help Shanghai, as well as thinking about San Francisco ourselves. What quality defines the quality of life, defines what we call a world city. And I think the art and the culture is so important to it. So I was there to sort of putting forward my 2 cents of promotion, not to forget. It's not only about hardware, it's about software, about the programs, the culture and the art related programs that all of us are doing here that helps define the quality of life for city San Francisco or Shanghai. So next, let me introduce Corinne Quinn, our beloved fashion designer. As we all know, the Shanghai from early on was very well known and it still is for its fashion. So let's see what Corinne has for her creative response to Shanghai.
Hello, everyone. Wow. I just want to say I'm really excited about all the programs. Just sitting there, listening to all the programs that are going to be happening for Shanghai. I want to be at each event. Well, I'd like to discuss a little bit more about myself. My name is Colleen Quinn, and I have my own company here in San Francisco. I'm like fourth generation. I'm an old San Franciscan here. I'm American-born, but I'm Chinese. And I've been having a recent calling for my culture in China. And recently, for the past 2 or 3 years, it's been calling me over there. And I'm going to show you one of my pieces, actually. I've been invited 2 years ago with D3 Productions to do a PBS documentary in the Miao Village. I'm not sure if anyone knows about the Miao Village, but it was amazing. I was able to explore the village there of ancient Chinese fashion. And that touched my heart. And from there, that has actually made me explore more of my culture. And so when I heard about the matcha having an event open for me to show my work, well, I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me to celebrate Shanghai. Another thing is that I also was invited to the Shanghai MoMA to exhibit my work, the butterfly gown, which is right here. And I will be unveiling this at my show with the Asian Art Museum on June 3rd. And this is the first time I'm unveiling it in San Francisco. So I'm so honored to be sharing this. And this was exhibited for 3 months. This was during the Shanghai Biennale. I was so honored to be there. And I learned about Shanghai too, and it really touched my heart. So I'm here actually to show a Chi Pao collection, my version, my interpretation of it, the new Chi Pao, and also, but keep the tradition of Chinese painting. And I did want to tell you, I am so much in my own culture that I'm studying Guzheng, and I'm studying Chinese calligraphy and Chinese painting with my mentor, Madeline Fu. And she has studied, she actually studied in Shanghai in the 1920s, so she is someone that I'd love to honor too and bring forth. And she has moved me so much that I'm going to incorporate her work into my work. I want to honor her as well. So I'm bringing in, I guess we're two sisters in some ways. I'm one sister, and Madeline Fu will be the second. And she's going to bring in her paintings into my work. And I hope I'll see you all there at my show. It's going to be June 3rd, and you'll be surprised, I hope. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Next, let me present to you Justin Hoover, Gallery Director and Curator, Soma Arts Cultural Center. They'll present City Video Art Screening in May 22nd.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. My name is Justin Hoover. Let me advance here. I represent Soma Arts Cultural Center, one of 6 official cultural centers of San Francisco and part of the Arts Commission. And what we're presenting in May is in conjunction with the APIC Community Center, another one of the community centers. Our tagline is Insurrection, Connection, and Community Through the Arts, and our mission is to promote, to nurture art on the community level and foster an appreciation and respect for all cultures. And what can do that better than the Sister City Celebration? In order to get to this idea of fostering these bridges, Soma Arts, we like to think globally but act locally. We're a center for the community and the culture, and we try to build these bridges both internally within San Francisco, but also externally to the larger artistic communities and cultural communities. We will be approaching this idea of thinking globally and acting locally through highlighting 2 artists, one local San Francisco artist named Lynn Marie Kirby, and then the other one is named Li Xiaofei of the Fei Center for Contemporary Art in Shanghai. They both are very interesting artists. They have similar practices but don't know each other. Lynn Marie Kirby in this picture does a work that she showed at the Arts Commission a few years ago, and it's an interview series with our youth of San Francisco, asking them what their hopes are, what their dreams are, what their aspirations are. Very similarly, Li Xiaofei does a very similar piece asking the Shanghai youth the same questions, unbeknownst to them that they are both working the same mediums, the same interview styles. So you can see what we're doing. We're looking to the future through looking to the citizens of the future and saying, what do our youth present for themselves through very simple questions. And another way we're looking at this cultural bridge is by presenting the work of Zhu Feng, the photographer. This will be through a presentation at our cultural center, Soma Arts Cultural Center, where we see a landscape artist who takes photographs in Shanghai, based in Shanghai, but he takes the photographs of largely landscapes of photographs of places that will be built. So he plays with these notions of utopia and with these ideas of hopes for the future. So again, thank you very much. I represent Soma Arts Cultural Center, and we are very grateful to be part of this wonderful bridge building project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The last but not least for today, let me introduce Duffy Wang, producer and president of D3 Productions, who will present a documentary entitled Shanghai 2010.
Thank you. Heavy rain today. It's like a drum roll kicking off this Shanghai Celebration. It's a really good thing. I'm here to talk about the documentary series we're producing titled Shanghai 2010. We did 2 years ago a documentary series on the preparation of Beijing Olympics. That series was titled "Beijing, Are You Ready?" So it was played on in 48 different states on more than 95% of PBS stations. After that production, we decided to do another series on Shanghai World Expo, which takes place this May. And we took 2 trips, first in April, and just to document what's going on the expo ground. Then we decided to go back in October to see the progress made on the World Expo ground. And before the production starts, we did a 7 months research. The focus of the documentary series is, of course, the World Expo 2010, but also we want to capture the spirit and energy of Shanghai. And so we were really fortunate to be able to interview a lot of architects from all over the world, from France, Germany, Finland, Holland, and Luxembourg, and also China Pavilion, the designers and the contractors and people working on the site nonstop. And so I'm going to show you like about 2-minute clips just on the World Expo ground, just give you a little tease what you can expect from this documentary series. Here's a video clip.
What if all the world came together in one spot? Well, it's happening right here in Shanghai, China. Hi, I'm Vicki Liviakis. Come with us on a journey to Shanghai as it prepares to host the World Expo 2010. It's not a spaceship that landed to enjoy the Shanghai World Expo 2010. This is the Expo's new performance center. Its total area is more than 400,000 square feet. The China Pavilion is 226 feet high. The rooftop stretches almost 460 feet across, the equivalent of the size of 2.5 football fields. The ground base area tapers down to half the size of the rooftop. France is known for its elaborate gardens. The France Pavilion at Shanghai's World Expo will showcase similar fancy garden work. The completed pavilion will consist of the roof garden hanging down to an atrium and a pond. Looking at the Finland Pavilion in October of 2009, fast progress is being made. They've always felt confident, and things are indeed taking shape on the circular 3-story exhibit space. As you can see, some pavilions are making great progress. Then there are others that are, at this point, just a plot of land and a pile of rocks. As of today, June 5th, 2009, the U.S. hasn't even broken ground yet, and time is running out.
Little suspense. But I think the mayor told you the story, so it will save me some time. But the U.S. is going to have a pavilion. When we were there in October, we filmed the site, and I think they already capped the roof. And during the production, we were able to, I think the mayor said earlier that he was able to get on top of one pavilion. I think we were on probably 20 to 30 pavilions on the rooftop. So we have some really rare footages because we go into the park early. And some amazing interviews. And one story I want to share with you is the German designer, architect designed the German pavilion, and who flew from Germany to Shanghai to be interviewed by our show. And after the interview, he went back to Germany, and on his way back to his office, he was in an accident and he passed away. So our interview was the last interview from him. So it's a really rare footage. So we were really saddened when we heard the story. And also, the series is not just about, as I said earlier, it's not just about the expo ground. It's also we also cover different aspects of Shanghai. Pretty much capture what's happening in Shanghai in this moment in the city's history, and what it means to people, what it means to the city and its future. And we interviewed some people who moved to Shanghai from different parts of the world. And we talked with American-born Chinese. Her name is Lisa, moved from New York to Shanghai, and had her business there. And now representing French Pavilion, doing PR works for them. And also we featured another American who opened up 10 restaurants, 8 of them in Shanghai, and other businesses who are trying to capitalize on this opportunity, making a buck there. And also we have one episode, Exercise Your Appetite, and introduce you to Shanghai cuisine. We are introducing 100 years old Shanghai restaurant, Lao Zhengxing, and also 100 years old Shanghai Muslim restaurant as well. We also include a high-end New York restaurant, St. George. They have a spot on the Bund. And also Shanghai at night. And we have a story on the legendary jazz scene in Shanghai. And there's a band, American band playing in Cotton Club. The singer who's really popular in Shanghai is from the US. Her name is Sugar Mama. How can you not like this name? And so again, I think if you have time, you should go. I think the World Expo is a celebration of human togetherness, creativity, and the spirits. And it presents a wonderful, wonderful world without the conflicts and the war. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before I open up the forum for questions, I'd like to say two things. Certainly, San Francisco is now running out of time. And you may notice that the programs that we have presented, introduced this morning, focus mostly on those programs that we presented in the spring and the early summer. As I say, the list is growing. The organizations that will participate are growing. So in due course, we'll present to you more information about what will come online in the summer and the fall. The second is that not all the organizations will have not all the organizations that will have spring and summer programs are represented here. So there are a lot more information on the website. Please make sure, check the updates on the website. So at this point, may I ask all the presenters to join me on the podium in case there were questions for all of us. And once again, I'd like to thank the media and all the other participants who came in this morning. So, any questions? We have done such a great job that... oh, okay, good, all right. Which one? Yes, please. There's a mic on the floor, so please.
Just if we could hear more about the documentary, where we can see it and when?
Yes.
How many episodes?
We'll start airing the, first of all, SF Library is going to host a free showing March 14th. And the series will start airing on PBS stations nationwide starting March. Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, a question about Jewish Cultural Center to Marvin.
Yes, that's some very interesting information of history. And so when will your events be taken off again? Because that's very curious how Asia or China helped refugee or former colleagues.
Did you ask about the dates when it will start?
Yes.
It starts on February the 24th at the Officers Club on the Presidio. They have a gallery there, and it runs through the middle of May. And it's open most days between 9 and 5 in the afternoon, and there are also auxiliary programs, and we do have a website where all this is available. It's AJC San Francisco/China, and you'll be able to locate it there. Thanks.
Good. Maybe I add one piece of new information is that not only the Bay Area organizations will participate in the celebration, actually a number of out-of-town organizations may join us as well. One has certainly confirmed being the Committee of 100, one of the most distinguished Chinese American organizations that will hold their annual meeting in San Francisco in the backdrop of all the Shanghai programs that we are presenting together. So any other questions? This gentleman has one more.
Are there going to be any dignitaries from countries attending this event?
For example, for our museum's gala opening on February the 10th of the Shanghai exhibition, the speaker of People's Congress of the Shanghai municipality will attending, and also the Chinese Consul General in San Francisco, of course. The other?
You have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly
yes.
What will San Francisco be doing in Shanghai for that week?
That is a question that actually I will not be able to answer. I think the San Francisco Week is now being co-organized by the Mayor's Office as well as the San Francisco Shanghai City Committee. Is Mark here? Is Mark Chandler? Yeah, okay, maybe he has left, the Mayor's Director of International Relations. But I think the date is sometime in June. We'll pass on your question maybe. I think there may be also information from the City Committee if you can make an inquiry. Yes.
For those San Franciscans on a budget, what events do you have planned that are free?
Can you repeat the question again?
For those San Franciscans on a budget, which events do you plan which are free?
Please.
So Much Cultural Center is always free. We have our event in May. That's anybody can come to it May 22nd. Again, it's in conjunction with APIC Cultural Center. It's the Asian Pacific Islander Cultural Center. They have an exhibition during the month of May, and we're doing a live screening of our video art on the 22nd. That's one free event. Again, also, I believe Toganon Gallery will be showing the same artists that we have in a full exhibition of installation of works on paper. You can go see them in 77 Geary Street. Anybody else?
Of course, the monumental installation of Jinhwan in the Civic Plaza is free. It's a public art piece. And the gallery, the San Francisco Arts Commission Gallery, is also free.
And I didn't give a presentation, but SFO Museum will have a number of exhibits that are free in the main lobby of the International Terminal, an exhibition on Shanghai's changing skyline. So that's free from April through November.
Excuse me, Jay?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Lisa?
Hi, I just also want to mention at the San Francisco Public Library, we have a number of programs, including Mr. Wang's screening of Shanghai Expo 2010, in addition to exhibits and other programs that are all free.
Yes, and also I'd like to particularly echo the SFO Museum's announcement. You know, SFO is the gateway to every places, and we travel so much by air these days, both all of us as well as incoming visitors. So it's wonderful for the visitors to see Shanghai-related program first thing in the SFO. But let me give you the question. Let me also add that in our own museum, that with the support of targeted corporations, every Sunday, the first Sunday of every month, it's a free Sunday, and we always thrilled to see tremendous volume of people coming to enjoy our museum on the first free Sunday, target Sunday of each month.
Jay,
so,
if I can add one
yes,
more
please.
Event. I'm Caverly Carey from the Institute of East Asian Studies at UC Berkeley, and on March 6th at the Museum Theater in the Berkeley Art Museum, we'll have a conference that will be free admission, open to the public, Modern and Modernity, Visual Narratives of Interwar Shanghai. It'll be about the form of the city and the lives of people in early 20th century Shanghai. That'll be at UC Berkeley.
I just want to mention that our exhibition at the Officers Club at the Presidio, viewing the exhibition is free, gratis, and for nothing.
So I will really encourage all our media friends to encourage your viewers, your readers to check www.shanghaicelebration.com. All the information about dates, program, and the ticketing information, whether they are free or reduced, admission, so on and so forth, are all available there. ShanghaiCelebration.com. Just spell the whole phrase out without space in between. www.shanghaicelebration.com. Okay, any other comments? Thank you very much. And a big round of applause for our presenters.